Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We are on a bit of an adventure today.
Yep. We are in Crystal River, Florida, and we are here to see the East Indian manatee that comes to this area because it has warm spring waters, and they come here and gather here in the winter to stay warm because it's warmer than the ocean water.
And we're actually about to go take a tour that'll allow us to go out and swim with the manatees. So we're kind of excited. We're up a little bit earlier than we normally get up, but the tours earlier in the morning are supposedly better, so that's what we're doing. It is a brisk 50 degrees right now, which is freezing as Florida standards go.
But the water is 72 degrees pretty much constantly, so the water will be warmer than the air.
You have dry clothes.
Your coat. Wait a minute.
We started our adventure by donning our wetsuits and going over how to interact with manatees while in the water with them.
Wetsuits, check. Warm weather, not check.
We soon boarded our tour boat and headed out into Kings Bay, which forms the headwaters of the Crystal River. The Crystal River is spring-fed by warm waters which the manatees head for in the winters. The first spring our tour captain took us to only had one manatee in it, so we went off looking for more. Some of these springs are designated manatee sanctuaries, and you cannot swim or boat in them. We finally found a spring with some manatees, and Caitlin was the first of our group in the water. We were at the Three Sisters Spring, which was one of the manatee sanctuaries. This particular sanctuary did allow swimmers, but only when it wasn't too crowded with manatees, and it was currently packed. We hung out just outside the sanctuary watching the manatees, and soon they started to come out for the day. The spring started to get very busy with tours and people trying to see and swim with some of the manatees. Unfortunately, some of these tour groups and people were clearly not following the rules for interacting with manatees. If you decide to have this adventure, please follow the rules so you don't ruin it for everyone else. Swimming with manatees is an amazing experience, and our time with them was coming to a close. But just before we were supposed to get on the boat, something amazing happened. Enough manatees had exited the springs and they had opened it to swimmers. Although we didn't have much time, our tour guide in the water encouraged the few who were left to swim up the narrow channel into the springs. As we swam against the warm spring water current, the manatees came pouring out. Seeing so many manatees on the move in their slow, lazy, and sometimes clumsy ways was an amazing experience. So many manatees had come out, we weren't sure there were going to be any left when we got into the spring. The spring itself was so amazing to swim in, as the waters were warm and super clear. Just as we thought it couldn't get much better, we were able to witness a mother feeding her calf. Even within the spring, there are a few areas permanently closed to swimming, and there were a few manatees resting there. We made our way to the back and deepest part of the spring, where the water gushed out from the rocks. Although there was only one manatee back there, Caitlin had a very intimate experience with it, as it decided to just hang out right in front of her. There were also large groups of fish hanging out in the spring, surely enjoying the warm waters. It was then time to leave, and heading out of the warm 72-degree springs into the Crystal River, it felt like ice water. Then we got out into 50-degree air.
Oh yes! Oh yes!
We're back. and we're really cold, but it was
so worth it.
it's amazing. And then they have hot chocolate, which is
Mild hypothermia aside, swimming with the manatees was one of our favorite experiences on the road so far. And if you find yourself in Crystal River, Florida, we would highly recommend spending some time with these magnificent creatures. Please support our channel by subscribing and read more at mortonsonthemove.com.